So, hello everybody, and welcome back to Train Simulator Classic with me, Simulation Section, otherwise known as Andmore Central. It's the same person, only here we get to play simulation trains and drive trains. Yeah, simulation games and drive trains, not just simulation trains. Just putting it all together. But yes, welcome to Huddersfield Station on the Huddersfield line. And we'll have a little zoom over here before we think about doing anything ourselves. As we can see, there is a 156 coming in, presumably from Selby. And we've got a nice 142 sat over there. I'm very much hoping that this 156 is not about to crash into us. That would be quite embarrassing. No, it isn't. That's good. It has stopped short, but demonstrating the fact that Huddersfield can see use like that. And yeah, you join me at Huddersfield. We will open our doors. We are on platform number 4. And today, if we take a little look at our briefing, first thing we've got to do is we've got to open the doors and book to depart at 11:32. We are operating via Slough, Marsden, Greenfield, Mosley, Stalybridge, Ashland Line and Manchester Victoria, with an arrival time at 12:16. Remember to set up the destination display and register the radio. Do note to the after passing through Standish Tunnel. Yep, there we go. All good and dandy. So we will get our unit all set up. So the first thing is we need to get the key set up. Get our DRA off. We don't need that. Then we need to find wherever the blind is on this one that I wanted to say was somewhere obvious. It isn't. Where is my destination blind controller? Do I have a blind controller? I should have a blind controller. Where is my controller? Because that's the FM radio. I'm not going to have to change it like this. Oh no, you do. Okay, you do change it like that. You do press F7 and F8. Remember the original 142? You didn't. The original 142, you had to do all the fancy la-di-da stuff. Change it about. So not Manchester Oxford Road, not Manchester Piccadilly, Manchester Victoria. That is a lot better having to change it with F8 and F7. A lot better than having to fiddle around like the old Armstrong Powerhouse one was. We will get our headlights on, destination light on, cab light. That's always good to have. We're all set up. There we go, just let's finish boarding in the lovely Huddersfield. So we are driving today a Class 142 Pacer in debranded Merseytravel livery in the era where all of the railway lines and bits will be merged together. So there was a lot of different liveries, as you can see behind us, lots of different liveries and what have all together in the same place. Just because it was incredibly random era of stuff. It's an era sadly I missed. I wasn't a thing at the time, is the easiest way to put it. I wasn't a thing at the time, but it was a very, very cool era. I've done a lot of research into it, lots of different liveries, lots of different branding, and what have. So I'm going to get another screenshot. So we are going to ever so slightly briefly pause, just to have a little look at Huddersfield. So this is what we're on, is the Huddersfield line. So this is the TransPennine line between Leeds and Manchester Victoria. I don't know if it includes Piccadilly. I think it is literally just Victoria. Although I haven't done much research down the end. And it was a line that I did buy around the time I purchased the Airedale line, because obviously it's required for that. Although I did get them muddled up on a bit, and I purchased the Wales line as well at the same time, just because it was cool and it was on offer. So I am still getting used to this sort of entire route. It is basically TrainSim have based all their scenarios around like the 80s and the 90s, because that's where like all the standard classic rolling stock is. However, the route has been based on modern era, thus the Metro West Yorkshire modern signs with the TransPennine Express sort of blue below bits and the modern look stations. So a scenario like this sort of bridges that gap between the scenarios that they've made for this and sort of the modern era that it's based in. I am heavily debating acquiring the 185 to use on here. I am heavily debating it. Because I just think it would be really cool. So if you are interested in that, please do let me know, and I might purchase the 185. So as far as I'm aware, what we're driving is the Armstrong Powerhouse. I mean, the sounds an Armstrong Powerhouse thing. Sounds good enough to be anything. We're driving the Armstrong Powerhouse 142. It would look quite as good if it was the Classic one. Now this, I remember the AP 142 when it sort of first came out years ago, like we're talking over a decade ago. And I do remember having the digital blinds back then. You had to fiddle in the cab. That's why I looked for a destination controller, because I just initially thought, oh, I'd have to fiddle with numbers and I'll have to work out what different numbers are and all of that lot. So I am actually quite thankful that that is not the case. Over there is the Penistone line, a line I've done a lot. So what I do like about this sort of enhanced, yes, it is. It is very much the AP one. You can move around, so it is the AP one. I am so confused because the Train Sim Classic one was okay. It was alright. It was kind of like the DTG one, should I say. The Dovetail Games 142 was... It was alright. It was okay. It was never going to be AP, but at the time, because AP hadn't updated their pacer for quite some time, it was a welcomed renewal, and it also got AP thinking, hang on a second, we should probably update our mod. And as someone that already had it, I got the update for free. That was really cool. Really good. And as I say, there are things that have really been improved. I mean, the design on it is so much more modern now. You can hear the sounds on it, and typical AP, really high quality sounds. Everything inside the buttons wise is spot on inside as well. So there's a lot that you can do here. It's all really nicely set up in here as well. And as I say, just bits like the destination blinds as well, having the realistic dot matrix. Something that sort of Manchester and Liverpool had on their paces. We never really got it in West Yorkshire. We always had the scroll of lines, although near to the end, when units got switched and swapped at the Northern Rail, a few of these dot matrix ones did make it across to West Yorkshire quite a lot. But it's still really cool to sort of bridge that gap for like this Huddersfield to sort of Manchester Victoria run. That is cool, as I say. Yes, it is, isn't it? I don't know why you question it, wasn't it? But yes, this is 2M05 132 Huddersfield to Manchester. So this has been a weird line on sort of the stopper network. It's always been a really weird one because no one's ever quite known what to do with it. We've gone through periods where it's sort of been done away from the TransPennine Express operation, then TransPennine Express have run stopper trains on it, then Northern have run stopper trains on it, and then TransPennine have run stopper trains on it, and we sort of ended up in this loop. I want to say at the moment it's TransPennine Express doing the stoppers on this line. I know that they are actively looking to get shut of the stopper line around Wakefield Kirkgate, so the Wakefield Kirkgate Castleford Normanton bit. The bit that since they've introduced it to run more regularly has become incredibly popular. So the bit that, although it has become really popular, it was sort of they enhanced the workings on the line to enhance driver knowledge when there's diversions on, because there's a lot coming up with TRU, TransPennine upgrade, so they enhanced it for that. But then, like weeks into doing it, they then announced that they wanted to get shut of it. That was really strange. It was sort of this thing like, why are we going backwards? And it's such a popular route. I mean, it's been demonstrated with the rail replacement services recently on that line that I've seen that have been full to capacity. That just demonstrates you how many people use that line now. To say it was something that ran very irregularly and ran just at rush hour times previously on odd services for positioning. So it is really cool to see how far it's come. It will be a shame if they do get rid of it. It will be a real big shame if they get rid of it. But it is something they're on about. I know they're on about this bit, and they've been on about the Huddersfield to Leeds stoppers as well. They just seem to change their mind all the time. I don't quite know why, but each to their own, I suppose. Each to their own. Let's try and get a... Oh, I've messed up, but I haven't got my screenshot. I've messed up. Look at that. Huddersfield. Lovely. Try and get a nice... Because I wanted all the houses in the background and I was that busy chirping on, I didn't think about it. There we go, let's get the AP142. You see, now I did it in sort of the previous video you saw. The previous one I filmed, and this was the 153, sort of like the test train, the 153 inspection train, was one I filmed prior to this video, but it's not the one I released. But as I was on about 142 that much in that video, I thought, oh, we need to do a bit more 142 action. So this is a scenario that does come with the Armstrong Powerhouse updated 142. It is something that comes with that, and what have. So it is something that, as I say, one of these scenarios that you get with it. So if you have the Huddersfield line and get the P142, is one of those scenarios. Again, worth noting that I don't have all of the required essentials to make this work, so there will be a few gaps in the AI that you would usually see if you had everything, so just bear that in mind when you are watching it. So there are a few gaps with some units. There should still be enough to see and enough to pass us, like as you saw in Huddersfield Station, there were 156 and 142, so there's enough there, but there are a couple of little gaps, so you will notice if you drive this scenario yourself, there might be a few things that you don't have that there's gaps with, or there might be some things that you have that I don't, that you'll see more of. So there are those little pockets of differences there. But again, I wanted to show you the route, I wanted to show you this scenario, and I had the vast majority of stuff it needs. I mean, to start with, if you've got the train, that's usually quite good. Something I've found with some scenarios is, especially like the 91s and like when you've got the Azuma, for example, the 800 series, because there's so many enhancements with them that you can acquire with sort of different carriage sets and bits like that. I tend to find myself not having the vast majority of stuff. That can be a bit of a problem, but we manage. So here we are at Slowit. Exciting. I do love about this route, and it is something I've noticed, is the realism on the platforms. Not all the platforms are the same. There is like, you can definitely tell when you drive the TS sort of routes of more modern sort of creation. You just notice the extra level of details that the platform struts here showcase that the platform isn't sort of like as well positioned as others. Like they have had to put a bit of work into making the platform, and all of this is on like a hill, like you can see the incline as well. So again, just little bits like that just make a difference. I mean, you've got a guy there listening to his music through his earphones. You can just, there's so much difference in these modern ones and the modern platforms as well. It is just a demonstration, like when we drive on the 2, as to how much these routes and bits have come. It is so good to see. And as I say, it really does showcase just how far we've come. Really does. Marsden. I think I've only been on this line on an actual train, I think once or twice. It's not a line I've done that regularly. As someone that used to sort of catch trains from Bradford Interchange from Halifax and bits like that a lot, I've always found myself going to Manchester that way. It's a lot cheaper than going on the Transpennine route. It's a lot easier, it's a lot quieter. So I always find, and it usually takes around the same amount of time. So I tend to, and it tends to have less disruption on it. So I always tend to find myself going over via sort of the Bridgeway and Rochdale Way, rather than heading over the Transpennine route. It's just, I always just find it so much easier. It's so much less hassle. It really is. We are going to need to keep this going relatively quick, because looking at these times it gets very tight very quickly. That's me. Very tight. apparently we are 1 mile and a mile and a half away from Marsden, so we'll have to keep a good level of speed up in order to get to Marsden in good time. And then after Marsden, it's the famous Stanage Tunnel that takes us through the Pennines and over to Greater Manchester, where this particular unit, although it is as I say, it is Merseyside, this particular unit will probably feel a little bit more at home when it's on the other side of the Pennines. But again, it's a nice demonstration of the units and bits that sort of great, like the suburbia of Greater Manchester and Merseyside had versus what we had in West Yorkshire, the crossovers, because the crossovers were so regular. I mean, you get crossovers still nowadays on the Hawke Valley line, because yeah, don't get me wrong, you got 195 and stuff like that, but occasionally you get a really cool 156 or like a 150 set comes through, and you think, oh, that's really cool, that's really exciting. So you do occasionally still get bits like that coming through. That's nice. I mean, I remember I was booked to have a 195, 156 rocked up to do the run from me to Manchester, and it's interior with full stagecoach spec. Come on, get it. There we go. And the interior was still stagecoach spec, and I thought that was really cool. Like seriously cool. Really cool to have stagecoach spec seats on this, like beach ball seats, or with like seats with beach ball logos on it. That I was just like, that's really cool, because it clearly is previously an EMR unit. It was refurbished during the stagecoach era, and it's still so cool to have around. So cool. I want to say in recent times Marsden has been slightly rebuilt. I want to say, I could be entirely wrong, but I want to say it has been slightly rebuilt in recent times. As it's all on platform, that's what matters. Get a nice screenshot of it there, because that looks really cool. And then whilst it is doing its thing, let's have a little look around Marsden. Been in Marsden quite a lot. Service buses, the 185 bus goes from Marsden Durker terminus, across this bridge that in real life is a little bit wider, and then down here and into the town. That doesn't have as many buildings as it does in real life, does the village, but still pretty cool. Why are you not giving me thing? Come on, give me some power. What's going on? What's happening? Why has it stopped giving me power? It's just decided it doesn't want to. Ah, there we go. Okay, I don't quite know what it did, but for some reason, even though I'd released it on the keyboard, it decided to keep it on there. We haven't had any incidents of missing speed limit changes, as far as I'm aware, unless I check this video back and it did. But caught the aid in the US, so it did affect us. For some reason it just was like, no, just no power, and then started rolling instead of accelerating. So I don't quite know what it was playing at there, but all that means now is we do have to kind of put our foot down a little bit in order to try and get to Springfield on time. Otherwise we are going to be slightly late, and I don't really want to fail this scenario if I can help it. I do kind of, these timetable scenarios, I do really try and actually keep them to time. It's very difficult. When I'm a little bit rusty at all of this, I do try and keep this time. Okay, we're going to Stanage Tunnel. Usually you won't have your cab light on, but because I actually want something to look at, I am going to leave it on. No, we don't have to be speeding. No, slow down. We don't have to be speeding. There we go. And an hour into 85 anyway, but I will switch the cabin light on just so we've got something to look at, because without it, as you saw in the previous videos, it does get a little bit messy. So, for some reason, this is the only negative I have found with this. For some reason, it lights up, but none of the interior is lit up. So it's like, well, the lights are there, but the lights aren't working. That is a bit strange. That's the only negative with this Armstrong Powerhouse 140 I've seen, is you've got the lights but nothing is lit. It's very strange. Very, very strange. The seats will be slightly dimmed and lit. So I keep the 156 from memory, that's lit inside. And you can still see all the seats and bits like that with the lights. For some reason this one you just can't see them. It's very strange. I do love the 142 for the bounciness. We've still got the bounciness. I remember when this was released, they released the update at 142, and I think one of the things they emphasised that it's got even more bounciness, because that's what these are. These are known as nothing donkeys, the bouncy trains. How far have we got to Wakefield? 4 miles. 4 miles, although we nearly are to Stanage Tunnel. The exit feels like it's been the same distance the entire time we've been in the tunnel. It just feels like it's still the same distance away. That's really weird. You know when they say the light at the end of the tunnel, but the tunnel's really far away. There's always a light at the end of the tunnel, but it depends on how long the tunnel is. Although, I do think the tunnel is getting bigger. I don't know if it's just an optical illusion. There's also a gap in the tunnel. That's a bit worrying. But I think we're getting to the end. A lot of bounciness. The faster we go, the more bounciness we get to. That's going kicking in. We haven't quite slowed down in time. There we go, 60. We sort of slowed down, we're on 60 more. We sort of managed it. Let's switch that. We don't need the cap light on that. It was just nice to actually see in the tunnel. Yeah, it's not an orthodox thing to do, but for the sake of the video, it is actually quite nice to see in the tunnel. Otherwise, just sort of staring into the abyss and crashing the light. Why am I watching a video where I'm just not seeing anything? This is nice. I haven't driven this bit. Oh, come on, not speed. There's going to be 3 things of speeding more that I'm going to get in trouble with. I hope it doesn't fail the scenario because of that, because that's the 3rd time I've sped that isn't good. Oh, I always just miss it. I wanted to get it on the curve. Although we do have the locks behind, that's really cool. I will admit, having the locks behind. I mean, as you all remember from the Airedale line, and when we did the run up to Keighley, it has 5 rise locks in it. That again is an infamous area that I've walked, and so I really enjoy that. I always love a little bit of canal action where there's locks and bits included. That's always really cool. Again, the detail on a route like this compared to an older route like the Portland to Darlington line is just like a totally different world. Don't get me wrong, they are still absolutely lovely lines to sort of drive and what have, but you do notice such a contrast between them. This is bouncing all over the place. So I'm just gonna slow it down a little bit more, just a smidge, because it was clearly not happy with that at all. And I'm going to try and get a nice screenshot, methinks, of it going across this viaduct. That looks very nice. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, that looks good. We like with the nice backdrop as well. And see if we can get a. Although to be fair, I don't know what the weather's doing. It sort of got to here and gone no cloud. In a very concerning straight line, and it has then done the same here and gone. Yes, we have weather. We have nothing. Very odd. Anyway, let's continue. I'm just, as I say, I've just slowed it down just a little bit as a precaution round there because it just was wobbling a little bit too much for my liking. I'm going to be entirely honest, it did scare me. I'm just hoping it doesn't fail this time trying to leave the station. Because if it wouldn't have failed trying to leave the station, then we were alright. It just decided it wasn't going to work properly. Just for some reason decided to not let me accelerate. That's a bit weird. I think in Greenfield we're going to stay on the train. We're not going to get off because we are a little bit late, so we're going to try and claw back a little bit of time, I think. We're going to arrive a minute late now. That's not good. That's not good at all. So I'm hoping to claw some bits back here, whilst obviously not trying to overrun a station, because that would be worse. That would be a lot worse. Oh, this is going to be close. I think we are going to be a minute late, sadly. It is a shame, but window of tolerance and all that stuff will be right. Will be right. There we go, get those doors open as soon as we can. We leave at 11:53, so we're not a million miles out. It could be significantly worse. We could be a lot further out. So I'm not staying out the train for long. This is Greenfield. We are now in Greater Manchester, as you can see, with the GMPT logo. Oh, I love the old GMPT logo. I used to love the old bus stations. Why are you doing this? There we go. I think it isolates me, and I think if I try and leave while the doors are still open, or the doors are still closing in their opinion, in the opinion of the doors while they're still closing it, stops me from doing anything. That's quite annoying. Is it? Oh, it has failed me. Oh, I'm gutted. That means it's now going to continue to fail us. Oh, I'm gutted at that. Oh, if it won't for our little problem with Mars, that would be alright. No, I love the GMPT logos. I remember going to the old Bolton bus station, the old Mall Street bus station in Bolton. Oh, and I remember all the glass, and it was like the M's were etched into the glass, and it was like proper 80s vibe. It was so good. A lot more character than what the current station has. I mean, that isn't difficult, but a lot more character. And it is just so nice, so nice to have stations like that. Like, as I say, we don't have that many of them anymore, sadly. I mean, even the likes of Dewsbury bus station and all the Metro Star bus stations are replacing them now. Don't quite know with what money, but they are replacing them. So as long as they think that they can afford it, that's what it is. Yeah, we're definitely testing the pace to its limits today. Definitely testing the pace to its limits. Because there's a whole lot of rocking going around those bends, and it's very unnerving. Very unnerving. Oh, I mean, it does say that you can do these speeds, but it's got these turns are very, very tight. Very tight for a 65. Very tight. It feels very, very unnerving. Very, very unnerving. You can see it all rocking and shaking. And don't get me wrong, these do rock and shake, but it's just it's very unnerving. It's a very, very bendy line to say it's this quick. I mean, I'm not even going that quick at all. Like, I'm actually going fairly slowly, but might have to put a little bit more intensity on the brakes here because I have not used the brakes in time, in my opinion, whatsoever. We might be overrunning this one, folks, in a bid to try and catch up time. I think we're overrunning Mosley, folks. I don't think we're going to want to go. I don't think we're going to Mosley today. Yeah, I don't think we're going to Mosley today. Okay, everybody, goodbye. Yeah, I think the excitement of trying to catch up to time, I think, has got to us. Anybody who's watching from Mosley, it is nothing against you. I do apologise. But I think we've missed Mosley, guys. So we will keep progressing. We will keep progressing. We now have 2 X's. However, we have caught up some time. That is an unintentional positive. We have caught up some time, which means that hopefully we will get to Staley Vegas on time, all being well, as long as the train doesn't fall off the tracks. You know, there was an attitude of, oh yeah, we might actually do really well at this scenario, let's put proper effort in, and then proceeds to miss Mosley. Again, nothing against the people of Mosley, I do apologise, but to be fair, they're probably a lovely, at the time, a lovely Trans-Pennine Express 158 that will probably stop at the station now and make up for my boo-boo, so, as they say in Manchester, don't look back in anger, just look forward to Staley Vegas. Why is it called Staley Vegas, I hear you cry? I don't know. I don't know the full history behind that. Someone watching the channel probably will. Please do enlighten us. You will probably know the history as to why it is referred to as Staley Vegas. I would imagine it is due to the bars and the pubs and bits like that. Whenever I've gone to Staley Bridge, I've always been there to work. I do know that people do like to drink there, but I've also noticed that quite a lot of people do like to go into Manchester, so I don't know how much of a truth it is that people like to go there for drinking. Because people do tend to go into Manchester. Now, this line that we are covering today is the Real Ale line, the pub ale trail line. But on a Saturday, these stop trains, how they run now, come on, go, 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 press, press, press. So annoying. Press, 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 press. I am pressing. Don't fail me. It's just, I pressed it. I pressed that loads, and why have you failed me? It's not even clicked on. Why have you stopped me? Oh, why? Why? I think there's something up for some reason with the AWS warnings, because they seem to catch us out a heck of a lot. I don't know what it is at the moment, but it's like, as you saw there, I was pressing the button, you could hear me, I'm pressing literally everything. I know that it gives you 5 seconds. I was pressing it on the keyboard, I was pressing it on the HUD, I was pressing everything, and the button was going down, as you saw, the button didn't move. It just decided not to work for some reason. If anybody wishes to enlighten me on this, then please do. I'm literally ready and waiting with the button, ready for this signal to click in. It should do, because it isn't a flashing yellow. There we go, so it works if you just click that. I don't know. I don't know. I don't understand it. Forgot to switch the cab light on, and this is a really long tunnel into Stirling Vegas. Now what's quite exciting with this is we're going on the Ashton-under-Lyne section of route. Now, in real life on the Ashton-under-Lyne thing, that now literally runs with Northern and is Staley Bridge, Ashton-under-Lyne, Manchester, and then goes on further west. So in real life now, there's no passenger service trains that go through and stop at Ashton-under-Lyne on the way over to Manchester. So I find it's incredibly cool that we are about to go to Ashton-under-Lyne. I really do. Because I've done a lot of work around Ashton-under-Lyne with my various different jobs. I spent 2 weeks working at that station. And it is a really cool station because it's like high above the town, and I think it's really cool. I'll also be interested to see if the IKEA's been modelled as well. That will excite me to see if that has been modelled. Tell you something though, one big positive is we're here on time. I mean, I'm going to stop a bit further down here so that we remain on time, but so I will stop a bit further down than I probably should because it is a big platform. But we are here on time. We've actually done quite well. I do think the sacrifice of Mosley has helped that a little bit. But that's really funny that we are actually there on time. And a new modern transport for Greater Manchester one, again demonstrating that this route was modelled in the modern era, but the scenarios that are created for it on a base aren't modern era. Come on. There we go. And here we go down the Ashton-under-Lyne curve that I'm actually really excited about. He's groovy. Fair dues, good on you. I can open the window and shout at him and go, groovy. Keep groovy. There is also a lot of opportunity. Why? Why? I literally caught it. It went off and everything. Oh, why? Come on, let's try that again. Oh, goodness me. I literally caught it and everything. Like, I caught it, you all saw the light went off and it still went, no. It doesn't come up with emergency brake, that I think is a bit weird. It just doesn't allow me to not catch it. It just is really funny about catching it on the HUD that's a bit odd, because usually when you've got the HUD on, you can literally click the big button there and you can click it on here, because you can click everything else on here. Like you can click all the other buttons. So you can usually click it and it works, but for some reason it just doesn't want to do that. So nowadays, this section up to the Ashton-under-Lyne and Staley Bridge, as far as I'm aware, this is all electrified and uses predominantly Class 3 2.3s. So this has been modelled in an era where it wasn't electrified by the looks of it, but it is in real life electrified and regularly uses, as far as I am aware, I could be entirely wrong, but as far as I'm aware, it uses Class 3 2.3s. Because when I was there, they weren't running trains, so there were no trains while I was there. As far as I'm aware, it is Class 3 2.3s that usually do it. I would assume 3 3s as well. So I don't know whether that is a good point, actually. I don't know whether for this scenario the gantries have been removed. My apologies, I haven't driven this route yet. There is a possibility with it being an Armstrong Powerhouse scenario that all of the electrical gantries and wires have been removed to replicate the fact that it's an older base. This scenario's old, sort of based in the older days. There is a possibility that that might be the case. Just thought I'd better emphasise that because it would make sense actually for this to be electrified on here because of the area that the route is based on. So I will check videos after this because if it is electrified, then I might have to. I have been putting it off a while. I might have to buy the Birmingham Cross City lines, and I might have to take a 323 on here. Might have to do that. As I say, unless I'm just in my own world and I've just dreamt all of this, I'm pretty certain I haven't. But you never know. There's always a possibility. To be brutally honest, I know that I have failed this scenario, so we're just going to keep going. We are too far into it now to turn back. I'm just going to keep going and just run it at my own pace, because clearly trying to catch time up has cost us Mosley. So don't particularly want to do that again. Oh, this is weird driving into Ashland Line. As I say, I spent quite a lot of time sat in that waiting room. Oh, this is strange. Oh, this is weird. This is well weird. Oh, this is cool. And let's have a look. So in real life, where those vans are and bits, there's a bus station. Oh my gosh, you've even got the tunnel and the lockers as well. Oh my goodness, I remember walking up here loads. Oh wow. That's really cool. Change for Huddersfield. Yeah, it's changed for Staley Bridge now. That's cool. I will, as I say, compared to the likes of Match Tracks, Airedale line, you don't have as much detail. You don't have as much detail beyond the station, but I will hand it to them. The detailing that they put into these stations is absolutely spot on. So I really do like the detailing in the stations. I just wish a little bit more was done out here, because they could do a little bit more. As I say, the Max Tracks line has really demonstrated that you can do more on the outer bit and what have. Because as I say, this station like itself looks really modern and really good and really detailed, and then you're looking at it like, where's the rest of it? Is a bit disappointing. But as I say, the main route's here and it's nice. It's just the thing is with the Airedale and Wharfdale lines, you can actually go away from the station and spend a good 5 minutes, as you can see me talking about various different areas and the buildings that have been modelled spot on, and the roads that have been modelled spot on, and the town centres and village centres and bits like that that have been done with so much accuracy. It's unreal. And you can talk about that. That's really cool. This, as I say, there is those limitations. But we are nearly there. I'm pleased to hear. Apparently we're going to get there early, although I don't think we will. I'm very surprised if we do. We achieved Staley Bridge. I mean, that's good, everybody. That's good, guys. We achieved Staley Bridge. We've had 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3 X's. So as long as we successfully achieve Manchester Victoria, we have had a 50% success rate, over 50% success rate. Sorry. If we fail it, we have had a 50-50. Half of the time we've failed, half of the time we've succeeded. So if we achieve Manchester Victoria, we have achieved over 50% of the time. So no matter what it says at the end, we have achieved over 50% of the time, and I'm very happy with that. But we have already found a video for the compilations of disasters on the simulators that will include many incidents with AI and OMSI, and now includes us missing Mosley Station. So that'll definitely be for the best bits compilation, I think. Because not many channels do that anymore. They don't do the best bit compilations. That's something I do really miss. So I remember, like back in the day, you'd have all the channels would do the best bit comps. Like you'd have NerdCube doing best bits. You'd have some of the other simulator channels doing the best bits as well, where like the biggest mess ups of the year and stuff like that. And they were so cool to watch. We just don't have them anymore. We just don't have videos like that, and they were so fun to watch. So fun. I'm just obsessed with this AWS reset button. Just obsessed with it. I just don't need to catch I really don't. It's very much rocked all over the place, this train. All the way here. I have not messed about. Why we miss Mosley, but again, we're not focusing on that. We're focusing on the wins, we're not focusing on the losses here. We're focusing on the wins. So again, I've been on this line on a driver replacement bus. I have never done this line on the train, because again, when I was there, the trains weren't running. Just obsessed with making sure that this works. I don't want it to kick off me really. That should do it. No, that is looking like one heck of a downhill grade. There we go, good. Why would you do that as soon as I looked away? Oh, it's trying to catch me out. I'm just gonna have to stay like this. I just dared to risk it. Because it's obviously going to go absolutely hammer me in a minute. Oh my goodness me, it's gonna kick off. It's gonna kick off. I want to see where I'm going, I want to see the scenery, but I also don't want the train to have to stop again. I just don't want it. So let's slow it on down for this 50. Sorry, the 30 I've just realised is a bit more important. I knew what I was slowing down for, I just read the wrong one. We are slowing down for the 30 and should achieve it. Bang on. Good. Because I don't wanna lose too much speed if I can help it. Because I'm conscious of that ETA going on. I can understand why this curve is a 30. I do very much understand that. That makes a heck of a lot of sense to me. Something that would be good, speaking of Manchester, is a Metrolink line. Like obviously we've got like the Metropolitan line, the tube line. I do have the Metropolitan line. If people are interested in watching a video of that, please do let me know, and I will attempt to work out how to use those trains. They very much confuse me because I'm not a train person. Very much confuse me. I want to watch where I'm going, but I also don't miss this because I know that it's about to come off me in a second. There we go. And it's going to flip to me again. Work. I'm a professional train driving panic person. Got it. Let's just up it a little bit as we approach Manvic. We've got another signal. 35. Oh, I've switched the lights on. I didn't intend to do that. Oh, look at this coming in Manchester Victoria. Oh, wow, you got the cranes over the city skyline. Oh, this is incredible. I am keeping a hold of. go, Cortex. Problem is it's all like downhill, so if you don't have step 2 on it, it's just going, I'm going to go for it. Don't particularly want. Can't remember what route it was that came out. It might have been a variation of this. But I'm sure someone made an AI Manchester Metrolink tram. I'm sure they did. I'll have to have a look for it. It might be on Alan Thompson's sim actually. Come to think of it, but someone definitely made one. There was one definitely made. I just can't remember. I can't quite remember who made it. But this was a couple of years ago. Like I don't know. Don't know if it's still about. I'm sure there were Manchester Metrolink tram made for train set. Sure there was. I know that there was a Croydon tram that were made years and years and years ago, and that was always a hoot to drive. And then let's get rid of that, and then we'll pause that. I want to have a look at this, because look at this. This is First North Western going up to Wigan. I don't know why it's not got any lettering on the side. I don't know if it might be a branding patch, or it might just be debranded at this time. To be fair, everything was debranded at this time. As I say, you might have seen a few more AI vehicles in like this station, and possibly on the line that we haven't seen in this video. So I do apologise for that they weren't all there. But I still hope you've enjoyed it regardless. It's still a very fun scenario, I will admit. Challenging in parts, but it is really cool to go through Ashton Underline as well, do that bit. That was really cool. But yeah, I'm going to end the video off there before obviously this scenario cuts off, because it's always nice for me to end it off by pausing it rather than it sort of pinging us out. So I do hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have done, then please do be sure to click that like button so that more people can find our amazing Train Simulator classic series on here on Simulation Section. And hopefully, if you have enjoyed this video, you got this far, then do consider subscribing to the channel for more content like this on Train Simulator Classic, OMSI 2, and possibly a few other games here and there. If you are interested in the real life world of buses, trains and trams and more, then go and check out my main channel on More Central. You can follow the progress of the buses I recently purchased. I purchased 2 Denny Start buses. You can follow the progress of them. You can follow my Day in the Life Bus Driver series where I drive buses in real life. And a few other videos here and there about all the other exciting stuff in the industry. So with all that said and done, thank you all for watching, and I look forward to seeing you all in the next video, mate. Goodbye for now. Bye.